Morning everyone, it's Julia from Crosspatch. Everyone keeps asking me to do demos for hexie boxes, so here's a demo, quickie, showing you how to make the hexie boxes. So if you don't know what a hexie box is, here are some I made earlier. So I was thinking of other ideas of things to make with the hexie flower templates. Obviously we're just using mainly the hexies, so if you've got the ultimate hexie set, these are quite handy to draw around. Otherwise, when you buy the pattern, you will have templates you can trace around in it. So I started with a 4-inch hexagon box. Then if you open it up, I fussy cut a cute fabric to go in the middle. That's the bottom. So we've got busy bees on the bottom, a pretty meadow. This is a new text fabric. Pretty meadowy fabric around it, and then we've got the bees and the birds and the bees inside it. A little bee button on the top, a little bit of tape goes over the button at the front, and then I've put lace around the top of the box. So that's the biggest size I did. Then I decided I'd do like a medium size one, as in with Goldilocks and the Three Bears. There's a daddy, a mummy and a baby one. So this is a Christmassy one with Lynette Anderson fabric. So we've got the reindeers on the outside. I've got some nice glittery yarn dye on the top. And then we've fussy cut the big feature print to go inside. And I've put rip rack on this one instead of lace. And then I thought on the top, those of you, if you have a look on my other videos, there's one on the baby boys. And I made some baby boys to go on the top of this one and to go on the top of that one. So the baby boys are a separate thing. If you get the pattern for the boxes, it won't tell you how to make a baby boy, but basically these are 3/4-inch hexagons with a flower folded over them. So there's a separate video on baby boys, but in case you're wondering what baby boys are, they're like hexie flower templates. So there's a bigger flower and then a little teeny tiny baby flower, and there's a hexagon with a teeny tiny 3/4-inch hexagon in the middle. So basically that's what I've used to put on the top of those boxes. And then finally there's a smaller box, so I did a 2.5-inch box. So this is Dutch Heritage fabric, so I've put the bird, the feature vintage fabric on the top, and inside lace around the outside again, and then I fussy cut the button on the front and a bit of tape will go over the button on the front there. So that's the 3 sizes. To make these you will need some Bosal, or I've got Legacy foam. It's the same thing, fusible one side. Decide what size box you're going to make. Now I think this was the 3.5, yeah, so this was the 3.5-inch size. So what you need is to cut 2 pieces of Bosal in your hexagon. So to cut that, cut your hexagons 3.5 inches, and you're going to need to cover your hexagons with fabric. So to do that, you need to cut your fabric a 1/4 inch bigger, a good 1/4 inch bigger all the way around. So depending on what size you're doing, if you're 4-inch, you want to cut your hexagon 4.5 inch out of your fabric. So you cut it out and you fuse your hexagon to one side of the fabric, and then you get your other fabric, put it right sides together and stitch all round, but you don't stitch on the Bosal, stitch around the edge of the Bosal, and you just sort of catch the Bosal as you're going round, and then you leave a gap in one seam. So I've sewn in like 1 centimetre each side, and I've left a gap so I can turn it out, and then turn it right sides out. When you've turned it right sides out, so let's pretend this is the base of my box, top stitch all around. If I put it a bit closer to the camera, you can see about 1/8 inch in, top stitch that all around. So that'll be my base. And then for my top, you want to do the same, but you want to leave one side open on the edge. I'm desperately trying to find where I've put the flap, because it was all organised last night and now I can't find it. There it is. Right, okay, so this is going to be my lid. So cleverly, when I stitch this all the way around, instead of leave the flap open at the top edge, I managed to stitch on that and I've left it at the bottom edge. So we're pretending this is at the top edge because I want the house to be, when you lift it up, the house to be facing forwards. But so just let's pretend. You leave that end open because you want to put the flap in. So here's the flap, and that's going to tuck in there like so. So that'll be the flap for the back of your box. So tuck it in and then just go and top stitch across that. So then you've got your top of your box and your bottom of your box. Now, if you're not using a feature fabric and you want to put some kind of applique on the top like I did with the baby boys, etc., stitch them on now. So just slip stitch them around the edge on the top now. So next you want to make the sides of your box. So again, you're using bosal, and because this box is 3.5 inches, you want to cut your bosal 6 pieces of bosal 3.5 inches wide. Now it's up to you how deep you want your box, but I think I did 2 inches on this box. So on the 3.5 inch box I did 2 inches, on the 4 inch box I did 2.5, and then on the little baby box I did 1.5. So I've cut 6 pieces of bosal 3.5 by 2.5. You want to cover those bits of bosal. So again, you want your fabrics a good 1/4 inch bigger. So you want to cut your fabrics for this. So if it's a 3.5 inch side, you want to cut your fabric 4 inches by 2.5 inches because it's 2 inch depth. So cut it 2.5 by 4. The same way as you did with the lid. Fuse one side to one bit of the fabric and place right sides together with the other bit. Sew all round, leaving a gap in the bottom, and I've sewn in again about 1 centimetre. Turn it right sides out, so you'll end up with 6 sides like that, and again top stitch them. Now where's all my sides? There's my sides. I thought I top stitched one somewhere. No, anyway, there it is. Top stitch it all round. So again, about 1/8 inch in. And then when you've top stitched them, all you're going to do is place them, the sides, right sides together, and you just want use some fine-ish thread. This is some Aurifil bobbin thread I'm using, and then you just slip stitch along those edges there, slip them all together, you can see there, to make your sides. So this is going to be the side, that's the lid, that's going to be my base. So all you need to do now is put the base in the bottom of this, like so, and then you're going to slip stitch all the way around the base. So slip stitch. What I did was tacked it in place, so I did some big overlapping stitches on there and tacked it in place on the base. Let's grab another one that size. So if I put it closer, you can probably see that all I've done is slip stitch it round, but I tacked it first. I made it easier to hold as I was stitching. When you've done that, you're going to want to fix the flap on the back of your box at the top. So all you do with that is grab the flap, put it on the back of your box, and you can top stitch it on the machine, but it's a bit fiddly, or you can just do it by hand. When you've done that, so you can sew lace or ric-rac around and it'll sort of cover the join on the back. I did that with my join on the back of this one was really messy, so that's why it got lace around the edge of it to cover it. The Christmassy one, as I said, I put ric-rac around the back, so you can see on the back where it covers the flap. And then all I did was put a little bit of ric-rac on the front, just sewed it to the inside there, and I fussy cut a button to go on the front of there with the Lynette Anderson fabric, cute, and then that'll just fasten over there. So they're really simple to make, really quick to make. I mean, I did the demo for this in about half an hour yesterday afternoon. It's just a matter of slip stitching the base on that now, and that'll be another box done to finish it off with. What else can I tell you? Patterns are available on the website, cross-patch.co.uk. fabric, like the Lynette Anderson fabrics. The Nutex fabrics are on the fabric page, other fabrics, so the bird fabrics there, the meadow fabrics there, the Busy Bee fabrics is there. That's Dutch Heritage fabric again on the website. Oh yeah, please like and subscribe if you can, because it means the demo actually gets shown on YouTube so you can find it. What's new? I've got some new threads to show you. I've got some pretty new, it's my new thread collection from Aurifil, so called Heirloom. Nice box, thank you James Bates for doing my box for me. And these are the colours that we've got in here. Let's get the colours out. So you can only get 5 threads in a box, unfortunately. So I've got a plum colour, I've got a gold, I've got it's a tealy blue, a nice green and a brown. And here's something I stitched earlier with them. So the stitchery panels again are on the website. I've mixed this up with the original thread box, the red thread box. So I've used some of the variegated that was in that red thread box for the top of the bird and some of the red for some of the other bits. But other than that, it's all the new fabrics. And again, mixed it with some nice Dutch Heritage fabric. So that's that. So the stitchery panels on the website, fabric and all the threads are on the website. I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely weekend. Hope the weather improves a bit. It's been a bit miserable. I think we had our summer in June. And I'll see you again soon. And no doubt my remote control is not going to work and I'll have to stand up and turn it off. But for a laugh, should we just try and see if it works? No, can't surprise. Anyway, see you soon. Bye.